Hey, how's it going, people? Welcome back to our channel, and today again we are going and diving into some Arsenal transfer news, transfer updates, some rumors, discussions, and my opinions. Of course, if you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, let me know down your thoughts on Arsenal's last season, what we could do in this transfer window, what we will do in this transfer window in your opinion, and how we will get on. Of course, today we have some players, well, quite actually interesting news to be honest. We're gonna talk about some players staying, but some players Arteta actually doesn't like, and some more links. So let's get into it. And we're kicking things off with some cup games already. It's weird, but obviously Arsenal last season. At the beginning of the season, played in the Community Shield. We won it, and obviously we didn't break the curse where the team that wins the Community Shield doesn't win. Also wins, the Premier League. Arsenal played it last year because City won the FA Cup and all that stuff, so City had to play the second place, hence it being Arsenal. This season, since United won against them, since United won against Manchester City, Arsenal have already, as it says, denied first trophy chance for 2024-25 season, as obviously United is going to play the champions of Premier League in Manchester City, and it will be another very weird game because there will be lots of change, I think, for United this transfer window. I don't know if it's going to happen manager-wise, but there are definitely many rumors in that regard. But yeah, for this season, Arsenal won't play there. Moving on to rumor that kind of spiked up quite heavily today. Multiple places are reporting that Mikel Arteta is concerned by training performances and situation with a certain Arsenal player and is ready to take action in selling him. Same goes for Edu, who also is believing in this situation. So here it is. Changes are needed in eyes of many at Arsenal, and one of the club would be offloaded is the attacking midfielder Fabio Vieira. Apparently, Mikel Arteta is not that impressed with the stuff he's done in training. In 2 years, he's only made 11 appearances. He's been injured in very big situations. And according to the Athletic, performance in training have been very left Arteta demanding more, and he hasn't picked up the pace. Obviously, Arsenal signed him as a shock deal in 2022 from Porto, and he was deemed to be very great player. It was 2 years ago, he was only 21, so people said give him time. Obviously it was the first season, he didn't do much, but he had some glimpses, so people said give him the second season because the first season is the acclimatization, as people like to say. In this season he did even less than the previous season, so at the end of the day it looks like that potentially during summer we won't only offload most likely players like Edin Ketia, Emil Smith-Rowe, obviously Cedric is leaving, El Neni is leaving, and players like that. But by the looks of things, Fabio Vieira is also on the books for potentially leaving, but that is the big issue. Now, there have been rumors as well that Emil Smith-Rowe might get sold, and we would be left out without actually attacking midfielders / wingers, because both of them can play left wing, can play center attacking mid, type of 10 position, can play maybe an 8, but that's more Emil Smith-Rowe obviously. Fabio Vieira I think is too weak for that. We already kind of figured that out when he played there on occasion. Same goes for Trossard. But overall, yeah, apparently Mikel Arteta is not that impressed with the stuff he's seen in training over the 2 years from Fabio Vieira, and by the looks of things, he might be a player that will be offloaded. Now, whether it's gonna be the same price amount, I highly doubt that. If we can get about 20-25 mil for him, I would be super happy. Same goes for this guy. Arsenal could sell Jakub Kiwior if they receive an attractive offer this summer. Obviously, we signed him from Spezia, as it says here, in January 2023 window for 20 million, which seemed like a great deal in a way. Nobody knew who he was. He actually broke the pace record, the speed record in our training, overtaking Theo Walcott. But in the games, he doesn't seem to be that quick in a way as well. Obviously, he was brought in as a center back, but, and you will say it here, he will see it here, since Kiwior had mostly struggled to stamp his authority in the first team, that was before he was handed the chance at left back. After the break, after Dubai, we played against Liverpool, Zinchenko got injured and he got subbed off at halftime for Kiwior. Since then we went on a massive win rampage, scoring like 25 goals in about 4 or 5 games and absolutely obliterating our opponents, and Kiwior was the main catalyst playing on that left side, kind of tucking in the left center back, and we kind of inverted from the right side with Ben White, which would we normally do from the left side with Zinchenko obviously, but we did that from the right, and he had quite good games. Obviously Arteta stuck with him for quite some time, and at the end of the day it came up to this situation that at the end of the day he got cooked. He got cooked by Sane, he got cooked by multiple players. After that great run of games, and we lost to Villa after that, and during all those games, he started to get cooked left, right, and center. He got done over by skills and everything, and Tomiyasu took his place. So that was the issue here. Obviously, Arsenal aren't itching to sell defender at all. I would totally agree with that. Arsenal are not in the market to sell him at all, but there are rumors and there are some situations that there are if a proper offer comes, Arsenal would be willing to sell him, especially with this. But with the club said to be seriously interested in Ajax's Joel Hatto, they may have already identified a player with similar position profile, but a much higher ceiling. Hatto is also a player that can play both center back sides, and he can play a left back. So pretty much the same type as Jakub Kivior, of course. But according to reports, Arsenal are not that excited to sell Kivior. They don't want to sell him. However, it could change. It could change if a very good offer comes in. If a very good offer comes in from any team, because we saw some certain teams being linked with him during the winter last summer. There were not as much last summer, but mostly in the winter. Arsenal could change. It would be very interesting to see if it happens or not. If an offer comes in, because we signed him for 20 million. Let's just say offer of 35 comes in. Would Arsenal consider that? I would think so, that yes, because the sources believe that Kivior is likely to stay, obviously. I would think so as well myself, knowing how the situation and how Arsenal operate. But the puts defender in the things could change category if a proper offer comes in. Now, whether it's gonna happen or not remains to be seen. I don't see him leaving, but if an offer of around 35-40 million come in, I definitely would sell Kivior for that, 100%. And here is one of the shock news today for me, because in the summer last season, before this season basically began, Arsenal signed Jurrien Timber, and it was quite evident that Tierney wasn't in Arsenal's, I would say, plans, to say the least, in Mikel Arteta's plans. Timber got injured, and he still got loaned out to Real Sociedad. He did quite good at Sociedad, I'm not gonna lie, to be honest, as you can see here. Tierney joined Sociedad on loan, made 27 appearances, and so the 38 games he played, 27, he missed 11 of those games, which is not great, but it is what it is. And he helped to secure Europa League football. Now with this all over, he's heading back to Arsenal, obviously, and his contract runs out in 2026. However, according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal are set to discuss a new contract with him this summer, which is quite shocking news to me, because the interview that Tierney conducted during winter, I think it was at Sociedad, he said he would like to stay at Sociedad if it's possible. Obviously, it's up to the club, it's up to the Real Sociedad team and managers and all that stuff. Obviously, that if Arsenal were open to recalling if they needed him, he wouldn't return. He doesn't want to return. And this is now very interesting, because everyone was led to believe that the bridges between Arteta and Tierney, Arsenal and Tierney, have been pretty much burned down to the ground, and there is no chance for coming back. However, with the situation what Arsenal have experienced at their left back at the left back position, it's pretty much evident that Tierney, despite the fact that he lacks maybe Arteta's style of football and he cannot invert properly into the midfield like maybe Zinchenko can, defensively he is the best left back we have. And I don't care what anybody says. He's better than Zinchenko, better than Kivior, and better than Tomiyasu. I'm sorry if you don't agree, it's up to you, but it's like that for me. He can put in a proper cross. He has a good shot on his left foot. We saw that against West Brom and other teams. He has very good crossing, and he's that old school type of defender who actually likes to defend, who takes pride in his defense. And he also can play left center back, which he plays for Scotland, as Robertson plays more or less left wing back, left mid type of role, which also comes as a great deal for Arsenal, because Arsenal tend to invert from the left. After Dubai with Kivior there, we saw him in Arsenal inverting many times from the right as well with Ben White there, which also leads me to believe that signing Kieran Tierney would actually help Arsenal rotate from that right side, whether it's gonna be Timber if he plays right back, whether it's gonna be Ben White if it's from the right back. I definitely can see that being an option. I definitely can see Tierney being a squad player. The issue is he most likely will want to be a main guy, and I'm not sure Arsenal are willing to offer him the main guy role. However, there is argument to be made for me specifically, personally, in a very selfish kind of way. If we sign Gerald Hato, for example, and he's that left-back successor for Arsenal long term, Tierney is not the worst guy to start and maybe sub on Gerald Hato from Gerald Hato to learn from. Because let's be real, Joel Hato is still young and inexperienced, but he has very, very high ceiling. Tierney, defensively, is the best left back we have at Arsenal, and he definitely would be a massive asset for us. Because on many occasions when we are crossing the ball from the left side, we need someone to overlap from that left side, and we need a defense solidity on that left side, especially against Bayern we needed that, against Villa we needed that. We needed that every time we were struggling. We didn't have that in our team. We didn't have that anyone to provide us that for our team. And Tierney would have been the perfect option for that. And why he got loaned out a week after Timber got injured is still a massive mystery to me. To be honest, I still haven't figured that out, and I'm not sure I ever will, unless Arteta says to us himself. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and these news kind of took me by surprise that our Arsenal are going to try and discuss a new contract. Because every single thing that happened this season, every single interview, everything was led us to believe that he's going to get sold. Obviously, I would be super happy if he said, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I'd much rather have seeing him at left back than Zinchenko and then Kivior. But at the end of the day, it's all up to Arsenal and Arteta, so let's see what happens during summer. Another rumor which I don't want to read too much into, but there is one. Arsenal are close to making Barcelona's 40 million Brazil wonderkid Gunners' first summer signing. Gunners are set to make 40 million bid to sign Brazilian teen Vitor Roque from La Liga giants Barcelona. Now, first things first. I like Victor Roque, however you pronounce it. I've seen him play a few games in Brazil. I really have, and I have seen him play a few games in general. And there is a player there. There's a very good player there, to be honest. He just needs a belief and development. However, the thing is, only reason he wants to leave Barcelona is this. Everyone thinks that Victor has to have more minutes, and no one understands why the coach Xavi doesn't give them to him. Xavi never spoke to the player, and I do not understand the situation. I think it's not good for either party. I have told the boy that he has to do is work even harder and wait for the opportunity, but I also see the matches to give him minutes and prominence, and thus avoid the unpleasant situation, which makes sense how it's getting operated. In my opinion, the team concedes a lot of goals, and that doesn't help. So yeah, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, Barcelona have sacked Xavi. Hansi Flick apparently is gonna sign, and that kind of doesn't fill me with confidence that this deal can go through. Because I definitely believe that Hansi Flick in the preseason definitely is gonna give him a chance, see what he's all about. And if Arsenal are going for him, it might be a very interesting situation for Arsenal. It doesn't matter if it happens or not. But being linked with that kind of a player is very, very interesting for me. If Arsenal are continuing this youth project, I am on the fence of it now, because 5 years you need to change something. You cannot go only for the youth, of course. You need to sign quality experience, not more youngsters. And the last one for today is Guehi, Marc Guehi, which Arsenal were linked in winter and are still linked now. Arsenal are definitely exploring a centre-back backup options for Saliba because we have, well, none. And it will be very interesting to see what's going to happen with that. Obviously, there are teams that have more issues with center back position, especially in right center back position, and there are teams that are willing to pay more. And here comes in that United about beating Arsenal to London defender. Guehi for Palace, obviously last game Palace have an insane team and they might get picked apart with Eze, Olise, of course Guehi leaving this summer, maybe Anderson even. Since leaving Chelsea for Palace, Guehi has been one of the finest players in his position in the Premier League, and there's no argument for that. Obviously, being him that he's English, there will be massive English tax. And with United, as it says in the title, United are serious to beating Arsenal in this, is the fact that United are losing Varane, one of the best center backs in a very long time, and they just didn't know how to use him properly. Obviously, he got injured and everything, but the game he played against City in the FA Cup was sublime. I'm not gonna lie, it was the old school Varane which we used to love at Real Madrid. So it will be interesting what happens there. But the thing is, he's English. They will have to splash more money. United are willing to do that, from what I can understand from the articles I've seen about Guehi. And the biggest thing for me about Guehi is I haven't seen a report that we've been linked with him since February or March. I haven't paid too much attention, but if there's some interest that is concrete, you will see multiple reports over that. And I haven't seen such yet. So it will be interesting to see what's going to happen during the summer. But definitely, Arsenal kind of were exploring this, but he would come at a very hefty fee. I would assume about 17 million. Definitely, because English tax, he was one of the best players in the Crystal Palace, so that instantly jumps it all up. Crystal Palace, under the new manager, looked like a very well-oiled machine since he took over. If he gets some money, signs proper players, who knows what he can do with it, and obviously they will be very interested to keeping their best players. So definitely, getting out Guehi from Crystal Palace will take a massive chunk of change. And according to what we've read already, till before the video has already opened, Arsenal don't want to spend a lot of money in one position. They kind of want to spread it out more or less and sign quality everywhere. So spending about 17 million on Guehi and not signing a striker proper one makes no sense. And so it will be interesting to see what is gonna happen there. But by the looks of things, United are more serious than Arsenal at the moment to signing this center back. Anyhow, those are the transfer rumors, news, my thoughts on them from me for you today. Let me know down in comments what you think, especially Arsenal re-signing Tierney, trying to re-sign Tierney. Would you be happy with that, yes or no? And the other one, Fabio Vieira, sell him, yes or no? Because personally, I would love for Arsenal to re-sign Tierney, and I would love for Arsenal to sell Fabio Vieira. Because anything what I can remember from Fabio Vieira is the goal against Brentford and the red card he got that pissed me off till the end of till to my toes. So those are the two things I only remember him about. I'm not gonna lie, those are the two things I remember him about in 2 years, and that is not good enough. So definitely for me, he would be a sell. But yeah, about all this, let me know down in comments what you think. Take care, stay safe, enjoy this evening, have a nice work week next week, and see you in the next video. Peace.